Well, 1 minute to go. Your name, your location, what are you selling? What's special about your product and service? And how can we reach you? Your WhatsApp line is fine. 0151519113. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Your name or where you calling us from?
Uh, we are I'm Taiwo Banjo from Idimu. We are into plumbing, um, boreholes, and water treatment. My contact number on WhatsApp is 081
Mm-hmm,
054
mm-hmm,
37900.
Thank you. One more. 0151519113. 0151519113. Signals Marketplace will pitch and sell in 30 seconds. 0809-234-5913. Okay, we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Uh-huh.
All these numbers is recorded somewhere.
Yes, we transcribe.
Okay. Then you now post it to where?
No, we just get that as data. Our own data. Yes. So I think I need to move you like this. Yes, just put this place here. Then can you sit down here? So I can. Yes. Good. Mhm. Good. Yes. You're fine. Don't worry. You're fine. You're very much fine. Where are you? Where are you? Good. Almost. Why? No, I've not. I haven't gone. No, we're going live now.
So if I
No, you're fine. You're fine. Don't worry. I promise. You're fine.
they can't see my
You can see your face.
face.
Yes. Oh, don't worry. I'm coming. Let me just do this. Welcome back to Signals on 91.3. And we're having a conversation this morning. I call it the ABCs of tax. But before I start, I'd like to read. Wait, okay, Yomi, thank you. That's one. Number two, I have with me, we're talking the ABCs of tax. Now, why did I call it ABCs of tax? So, anytime you mention tax, we look at taxpayers' money. You're driving along the road and the roads are bad, and like, my taxpayers' money, what's going on with it? But again, for business owners, when they come and tell you that it's time to pay tax, you're wondering how much have I made and I want to pay tax. Well, this is the conversations we'll be having this morning. I have with me an economist, an ex-banker, administrator, business consultant, and chartered tax practitioner with cognate experience building viable systems and working effectively in dynamic intercultural, multi-stakeholder, and complex settings as an entrepreneur and creative director. Well, and the list goes on. Plenty like that. Wait now, just calm down. She has led the team to organize the sensitization program of the informal sector at the Lagos Computer Village Market via a seminar sponsored by FIRS and ETC. Now, she is the yeah, okay. She is the managing partner of Happy Tax Business Services. I have with me Yetunde Olorunleke Olowofoyeku. Ha! I hope I got it. I hope I got it. I got it. I always like to get the names right. Anyway, welcome to Signals on 91.3. And we're talking ABCs of tax, right? And the question is being an economist, being an ex-banker, an administrator, business consultant, and chartered tax practitioner, how have you been able to adapt to all of these sectors? Yeah. Answer.
Um,
Yeah,
Once
yeah.
again, thank you, Adewunmi, for having me here. Um, when we write these profiles, most times it's like you're writing more like a story of your life. So you find out that at every stage, um, most of the things are kind of interwoven. So whatever experience you garner from any sector, you probably have use for it, because really experience for the it's not something that you can buy. You just have to go through it. So when you say, oh, all these
You say we have
um,
to read it so that
multi whatever, yes, I used to be a banker. Then
okay.
I dabbled into entrepreneurship, and I went back to practice and write tax exams to become a chartered tax practitioner. So there's no knowledge that is lost. So I have a stint with entrepreneurship. I still do, and I know how the banking sector works.
Works. So it's like a balance.
And then on the tax practitioner side, you balance everything.
A
There's no
balance.
way it doesn't
Now we don't get to hear about tax practitioners all the time because what we hear is somebody comes to come and knock on your door. It's time to pay tax. I don't understand. And now for a lot of business owners, let's really talk about what is tax. What should we pay tax? How do we calculate tax? All of that, but gradually.
Tax practitioners are actually supposed to be representatives of both the government and the taxpayers, but really tilting towards the taxpayers.
Mm.
So a tax practitioner is more like somebody that helps you to determine or plan your taxes,
Okay.
help you to file them,
Okay.
and most times actually engage with you and actually represent you with the tax administrators if you engage them. So really, we are not the enemy of the taxpayer. The tax administrators come in; those are the
Mm.
LRS, the FRS,
First.
and they're supposed to look at your books, which you're probably a tax practitioner has helped you
Okay.
to prepare and maybe file your returns, and actually make sure that everything that is required by the tax administration is actually being done.
Okay.
And so you don't have tax issues. It is when you run away from those taxes that you get tax liabilities, and you now say, where is this coming from?
From.
But you actually made those profits.
But
And
wait. Now I'm liking where this is going. You said we make a lot of now for a lot of business owners, they're wondering where is the profit? Where is the there is no money. The money is coming in and it's going several places, right? And the question is, must we really pay tax? Now, just take that I am playing the devil's advocate this morning. Must we pay tax? And because people don't say it.
okay. When you talk about small businesses,
Yes.
we'll talk about two types. We have the small businesses that are actually limited liability
Okay.
companies, and you have the sole proprietorship
Mm.
companies. Those are the enterprises that are not
So
a
proprietorship.
partnership. Well, and I think what you're talking about, Adewunmi, is more of the sole proprietorship.
Well.
When we talk about sole proprietorship and partnership
Mm.
businesses, we have two types of two ways that we you can file your taxes as the sole owner of the business,
Okay.
and you can either do a self-assessment, or
Okay.
you can go as a payee. Most times the challenges that the
Business
sole proprietorship
face.
or let me have is actually when they have workers, and
Mm.
some of them don't are not educated enough to even know that some of these workers need to pay taxes through pay as you earn scheme, which
Okay.
is actually a personal income tax issues. And most of the time, too, why most people complain is because they are not doing proper bookkeeping.
Keeping. Okay.
And they look at tax at the end of the day, maybe when they've piled up penalties of non-payment or non-compliance,
Okay.
and say, oh, the authorities are on my neck, the authorities are driving me wild or
Mm.
whatever. But when we look at it in a way where proper books are being kept, and some of these taxes are actually very minute sometimes. when
Okay.
you actually have proper bookkeeping, and you actually put aside some of these things that you need to pay either monthly or quarterly or
Oh, yeah,
yearly.
yeah.
But when you leave it for so long, and when you only remember that, yeah, it's citizen of Lagos State when the authorities come knocking. But really, 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 I would encourage taxpayers to keep proper books,
Okay.
and some of these things are not so
Difficult.
burdensome. Let me put it that way. If you do it in bits, like monthly,
Yeah.
um,
Quarterly.
quarterly, or even yearly.
Now, someone who is listening is like, so how do I even ensure bookkeeping? Now, let's take for example the mothers in the market
Mm.
where they I know they pay tax, right? So how do they even ensure that okay, so this money they will come and collect it?
Funny enough, we are talking about the informal sector,
Sector, yes. So how do we calculate the
and
formal and informal?
I actually believe that people at the informal sector pay more taxes in presumptive tax
Okay.
than some of you sole
We are,
proprietorship
take,
that are not
we are
bookkeeping.
taking daggers.
Are not bookkeeping, because when you look at the market woman
Mm.
and that sells on the streets, they have unions
Yeah,
sometimes. They
true.
actually have some kind of money. They either pay daily or weekly or monthly. So when you look at what they are paying,
Mm.
I don't know whether it gets to government though, but I can assure you
At least they are
that
paying.
they have, what do they call it? Their associations, they have their coalitions, and they actually have levies and taxes that have been collected from them.
Mm.
So when you look at even the agberos pay taxes, so and in one
That
way or
one is
the other,
compulsory.
exactly, and it's actually contributing to part of government revenue. And so when we talk, it's actually the sole proprietorship that has one small shop somewhere that they are not in the tax net. And well, the government has come up with so many ways to catch you guys. And some of those ways is that with the new rules and regulation that you must have a tax ID before you can open a bank account,
Ha.
and all those kind of things. So really, at this stage, the way we're going, yeah, when we look at the complaints from the taxpayers
We're not in an enabling
that
environment.
exactly, there's a difference between the ease of paying tax and the costs,
Of
the ease of doing business and the cost of doing business. So I understand where you're coming from,
aha, nice.
and
So I won.
I understand where you're coming from,
Mm.
because when you look at the cost of doing business, the power supply, the all the
We're
amenities that
almost like
need
our
to,
own personal government because we're providing
exactly, you're providing
gen.
your water, you're providing everything for yourself. So you see that the ease of doing business with the government is trying to um, or has worked on with all the finance act by saying that if you don't have a turnover of 25 million, you don't have to pay tax. Those are for the small businesses that, but for the sole proprietorship, really,
Mm.
I think what you're talking about is this pay. You need to pay taxes for your workers, and the what they enjoy with the set aside sum, like the pension funds
Yeah.
and all those kind of things, actually to encourage this retirement or whatever it
Mm.
is that the government is trying to protect. But for you, I would say that, yeah, the ease of doing business is not the same as
Course.
the cost of doing business. So I know what it is, but at the same time,
With 3 million,
we have to pay our taxes.
with more than 3 million SMEs in Lagos,
Eh,
and they are paying taxes. Um, and we talked about cost as the government really created. Now, really, let's look at it not from a this person is bad or that person is bad, but really looking at the infrastructures that we have. Can't we get a tax rebate? Can't businesses get tax rebate? I like that.
But there's so many rebates for taxes.
But we,
Now that you just have to tap into them. Like
okay,
um I just mentioned that if the government in the Finance Act, the government has said that small businesses earning less than
25
25
million.
million in turnover don't have to pay taxes, but you have to file your taxes.
Okay, so filing.
You exactly, at least they must know your position at every point in time. So you still have the obligation to file your
Now,
returns
so what's the difference between tax and VAT? Because there, there's rumors that from 7.5
from 5% to seven point five
then to
percent.
10%.
No, it hasn't gotten to
It has not gotten
10%.
that, so we are
The
safe.
10% you're talking about is withholding tax. The withholding tax. There's a difference. Well, let me explain what
Yes.
withholding tax is.
Okay.
Okay. Is tax that is being deducted at source. Most times, let me break it down.
Okay. Good.
And it's like you are
Okay.
you are a vendor,
Good.
and a company has engaged you to supply them with some kind of product.
Mm.
Um, while supplying that product, there are two ways: the responsibility of the supplier and you, and the buyer. Um, the supplier is now expected, because you are the one selling, to put on his bill a 5%, 7.5%
Sense.
VAT,
Mm.
right? In addition to the cost, to in to
The
the
cost.
the cost. Um, then for the person buying, that is the person that's ordered the goods,
Yes.
um, he has the obligation to withhold 10% withholding tax.
So I'm buying a product from Mr. A. Mr. A is to remove withholding tax. Okay.
Yeah.
Then where does the 7.5, and I'll still collect 7.5.
7.5 you are collecting because that's you are an agent for the government.
Okay.
Okay,
Yes.
you have made your profit, and there's VAT on that,
The
on the
goods.
goods that you're going to supply.
Okay.
So by charging that 7.5, you are actually a collection agent and
Okay.
all that. So because the what that 7.5 is not your money.
And it's government money.
It's government money.
Okay.
So you have charged it on the consumer,
Mm.
and and you have the responsibility to return that money
True.
to the government. Then the withholding tax
Yes.
that um, the the
Government.
buyer
Okay.
has taken from you
Mm.
is actually yours. We have just withheld it at source. So
Okay.
when you are doing your company accounts,
Okay.
and this person files or returns this 10% withholding tax on your behalf, that's for the company. So while you are computing your company income tax,
Yes.
that's 10% withholding tax is actually tax already paid on your behalf.
Okay. So I don't need to pay tax any longer.
No, 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 no. It doesn't work that way. What it means is that if that 10%
Mm.
withholding tax, because when you're going to pay your company income tax,
Mm.
it's your profit that is being taxed. That
Okay.
means your revenue minus your expenses. So by the end of the day, sometimes your withholding tax might actually cover your company income tax, in the sense that maybe that particular in your books, we still go back to this bookkeeping. In your books,
Yeah.
right? Maybe that particular year you didn't make so much profit,
Mm.
because that this time you are looking at revenue against cost.
Yeah.
And some company whom you have supplied some goods have actually withheld some taxes on your behalf. Claim those taxes against the taxes you're supposed to pay, And we might find out that it's actually wiping out a lot of those taxes that you think is so humongous that to be paid. So really, it is where you're asking for
Rebates.
rebates. Those are okay. Those are like the withholding tax. I would say is already part of. It's not rebates in that sense, but it can actually reduce
Your tax debt.
your company income
The next question I'm going to ask is, see, when are you going to hold a class? Because while you're explaining this, I'm like, so for a lot of business owners who don't know how to keep their books, God, this even the breakdown, I'm looking at you, I'm looking at numbers in my head, and it's almost confusing. But even though I get where you're going to, now for business owners, because you've touched more on bookkeeping, now how do we begin to even say, okay, oh, how do we begin to keep these books? Because most businesses don't have books. So we rely on the accounts. Oh yeah, take, and they'll start asking you to bring your statement of account, your expenses, your e. Ah, some of us that miss mass class. So how
maybe you that and sometimes that is actually where the
problem is coming from?
tax practitioners come in to help,
Okay.
because really a lot of people don't know how to keep their books.
Books.
So yeah, we could organize classes and all those kind of things for people to actually
Just
try to understand
understand
the basic integrity, like you said, the ABC of tax.
tax.
And sometimes it's just the bookkeeping might not be as cumbersome. It's just that a lot of people take it for granted, and taking it for granted means that it's just about the basic
Diligence.
diligence of recording your revenue and your expenses. And in the digital age, there's so many ways those things can be done, especially people um that has like there's so many IT
Softwares.
softwares that people use with the supermarkets and trade and all that. But if we're talking about the local people, the informal sector, like you said,
And market women.
market women actually there's I
They sort
can't
of understand it.
exactly the market woman,
Yes.
like an illiterate that does not know how to keep her books. Like I said, it's an informal sector, so
Mm.
they thrive more on presumptive tax, like we said, those daily or weekly, whatever that they pay.
Mhm.
But and I don't expect them to actually keep books because they probably don't even know
No, but
what it is. But like I said, but for a sole proprietorship,
for
like
enterprise,
I
for
said,
business,
they can actually ask people to do it for them. And that is where the tax practitioners come
come.
in.
I'm coming first. Just take a break. A signals on 91.3. We're talking ABCs of tax. If I tell you that I'm understanding it gradually, yeah, it's a process. If you have a question for her, we're talking ABCs of tax. And the numbers to call, send us a WhatsApp message 0809 234 5913, and or you can call us 0809 191 3913. ABCs of tax with Yetunde Olorunleke. Now, are the benefits of tax returns properly communicated here in Nigeria? They say we should pay tax, but so I'm not against paying tax. I'm not. I'm not. I'm just wondering that, okay, for every person who is paying, they want to see that, okay, so this is what is being done. This is the returns. Do we also get like a report that, okay, this is where all of our taxes have gone? Because they want us to be accountable.
First of all,
Yes, ma'am.
when you're talking about tax, it is
Yes.
statutory. Everyone has to pay
Has
tax.
it
It is by
increased?
law
Okay, it's
that
compulsory.
it is compulsory.
Nigerian law.
So we have no choice. It is statutory. We have to pay our taxes.
Mm,
And by paying your tax, you actually have the right
to
to
demand.
hold and demand accountability and to hold your government responsible. But first of all, the first thing is obey before command. So first of all, you need to pay your taxes because
First.
it is by law that taxes.
Mm,
How tax is being administered,
it's a
or
different ball game.
it's a different ballgame, as well. So really, it is statutory that
Compulsory.
compulsory that everyone must pay their taxes one
Now,
way or the other.
now your numerous strengths include mentoring individuals and providing solutions. Now, how do you convince the younger generation that the tax sector is interesting?
Oh, very interesting.
Aha! I
You,
first lead
um,
some. I first lead some. Now, how
I know
interesting?
that we're actually looking for people coming more into taxation.
Okay.
Initially, people used to think, oh, tax and taxation is about accounting and all that. Yeah, you can understand the accounting books,
Okay.
but a tax practitioner does not necessarily have to be an accountant.
Accountant. Okay, that's good.
Tax itself is all about law.
Okay.
So, which a lot of
Tax laws.
people think is all about calculation, but really, really, you must be very abreast with the laws of this nation. And tax is actually law. So, all those tax acts, the Personal Income Tax Act,
Okay, as
the
you go.
Company Income Tax Act, the VAT Act, all those acts
Plenty.
are
Taxes
exactly.
are
So,
plenty.
it's actually about law. So, in other climes,
Hmm.
the head of tax are actually lawyers and economists, not accountants.
Okay.
So, really, when you look at tax, it's not basically about accounting.
Okay.
Accounting at one side, a taxpayer must be able to understand the annual financial statements or whatever,
Okay.
but they don't really have to be an accountant. So, that's why I said you need when you need basic bookkeeping for you to pay your
What made you fall in
taxes.
love with taxation?
Um,
What happened?
what
Because your
made
face lit up and it's interesting.
I was born into tax. Let
How?
me just say that my dad is
Uh-huh.
a taxman,
Okay. So it runs in the
and
blood.
he has always been in tax.
Okay.
He used to be the FRS chairman for 16 years,
Okay.
and founder of the Chartered Institute of Taxation. So
Oh,
I always say that tax is in
it's
my
following
DNA.
you
It's
everywhere.
following me everywhere. So whether I like it or not, I drink it. I smell it. I
So if you
breathe
had
it.
another choice,
If I had another choice, I was a banker, like I
okay.
mentioned.
Mm,
I actually was an entrepreneur. had this fashion
house.
house and all those kind of things.
But tax
So
still called you back.
I still went back to tax. People are still saying I should go back to this whatever
Fashion.
fashion, but there's no experience lost for me,
Mm.
and
It's a full cycle.
it's a full circle. In tax, where there's so much to discover, and we can learn it all in
Oh,
one day.
no.
So there's
Mm.
so many special areas in taxation. So,
Okay. So the one is it general tax that you're majoring or is that a special?
oh, as a tax practitioner, you must specialize in some and
Okay.
all that. So you must know a bit of every,
Mm-hmm.
but you can always choose your area of specialization. Whether
Mm.
you want to be more of an oil and gas tax person, you can combine a lot. Some people do. Some people don't even dabble into some. It's
Mm.
by choice. So there's so many areas
So
of
there is money in tax
specialized
so
tax.
that if a student is going and they say, what do you want to go and study? They say tax. You say, okay,
Yes,
you want to come collect
taxation
people's
is
money.
please. We have there's academies springing up all over the place for
Tax.
taxation. Even some universities now are offering courses in taxation, and some people even up to the master's level. So you can actually make taxation a profession, and it is quite interesting.
Quite interesting. It's quite interesting. The signals on IT 1.3. It's raining in the city of Lagos, so take a cup of tea and let's see how we can. Let me see how I'm going to ask her more questions on how to pay your tax. But that's almost it. The numbers to call, and if you have a question or comment, is 0809 234 5913 or 0809 191 3913. Now, speaking of tell us more about what you did with the Lagos Computer Village Market for training them.
No, we actually did not do the proper training.
Okay.
What the program is about is actually um, the Chartered Institute of Taxation, at our district levels, we try to um, provide
Learning.
awareness.
Okay.
Let me put it like awareness,
Awareness.
and try to see where we can actually engage taxpayers. And at that time, it was our annual tax week,
Okay.
and we needed to find a way to create awareness. So the computer village became um, an interesting
Place.
place to actually create awareness. Just like you said, there's a small phone um, seller there and so many other people. And for us to go in there, we found out that's to and understand how this presumptive tax
Work.
issues um, that arise from presumptive. Let me say issues that arise from presumptive
Presumptive
tax,
tax.
and so we approached their
Head.
heads of coalition. There are about 17 of them,
Wow.
and we actually decided to create a platform where the tax administrators, the LRS and the FRS can actually meet
Mm.
with the taxpayers. And in this case, we are the Computer Village
It's best.
based sellers, sole proprietorship, and all that. And it was a good session because they definitely had issues,
Mm.
and that they wanted to engage government. So we had representative of the government from LRS, from FRS, actually in the same room with all those market men
Men.
and women, and they were able to ask some of the questions they needed to ask, and some of the issues they were facing, and they were able to speak to power as well. That's the way I put it. And the LRS, the FRS were all on ground to listen. So it was a two-way communication thing.
Mm.
And from there, they took it from there. So, and that is another way of merging,
The
closing the gap
gap.
between the taxpayers and the tax administrators. So that
Mm.
was exactly what we tried to do with that program by creating a platform where both can meet and discuss further.
Now you said tax week. There's a tax week coming up.
There's an annual tax conference of the Chartered Institute of Taxation, which starts on Monday the 8th.
Mm.
And that is another platform where
Awareness is taking place.
exactly where the tax practitioners, the tax payers, and the tax administrators actually meet on the same platform. And apart from creating awareness, it is actually a place where even the tax practitioners go to learn, because
Okay.
papers are being presented.
Plenty papers. I'm looking at
Exactly.
plenty papers being presented.
We have papers being presented. We have networking going on.
Mm.
We have people that use that to meet and discuss. People actually, there's social interaction there as well.
Mm.
So we have so many things going on. But like I said, it is a good platform where we learn, we network, we dance, we eat,
And
and
yeah, see, I've never seen, I've never seen
and then we
someone
have
who is,
fun. So
well,
it's actually a fun place to be. And that, apart from you can, if there's, we're learning and mingling.
so what should be the, now that everyone, the the tax payers, administrators, practitioners, all of you are meeting together in one place.
Mhm.
I hope that whatever you are deciding in that conference, it would not be higher than.
No, actually, the conference, apart from networking and all of us having a place to meet, it is actually a way of addressing certain issues and speaking
Okay.
to power in whichever way we can look at it.
Mm.
So, apart from learning, issues have been discussed. Challenges have been analyzed,
Okay.
and way forward is always been professed as well. So we have communiques coming out from it, and
Progress.
progress. We just whatever. So the institute is actually a charter the charter of the institute is to regulate tax and environment.
To
So
regulate tax environment. I'm liking it. So someone is
so
regulating the
somebody is actually
regulating.
speaking
Well,
says
let's put it this way. So
to speak
you are regulating the taxes.
environment.
Well, we'll be right back. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Okay, this is interesting. So we'll be right. We'll come back and then we'll take my 2 to 3 questions. And you're fine. Don't worry. I love.
So they can show me my question.
Don't worry. You're safe. You're safe.
I might be talking rubbish.
No, you not say rubbish. Oh, you not say rubbish. Rubbish is fine.
And talk for insurance, I will be hearing. I mean, like, what
You'll
you
be
talk.
fine. You'll be fine.
Anyway, I just gist it, so I'm not doing
You will be
anything.
fine. Everybody will be fine. They will be fine. But thank you so much for coming. Because that tax thing can be very daunting.
No, it's because people don't
Understand it.
and no, they don't take out time. They just feel, oh, what is government doing for me?
Mm.
But really, you can't argue it out when they come crashing on you. So you can only complain. You can't do anything about it because it is statute. It is law.
Okay. Welcome back to Signals on 91.3. And we're coming back to the last lap of the program. If you have questions or comments, you can send us a WhatsApp message 0809 234 5913 or call us 015151 Now, we talked about before the taxman comes crashing down. How do we begin to avoid now? How do
The
we
rules
begin?
of the law.
Yes, how do we avoid it?
Like we just said, this basic bookkeeping.
Okay.
You can make sure that your books are in order.
Okay.
And like I said, people wait for taxes to accumulate or something. But with the new rules and regulation, what you just is like make it a culture, make it a habit that look, this money that I'm earning is not only for me. Let me put the government on aside. This one is not for me to spend or for me to do anything with. Let me pay the government. It's just like people doing a budget every or trying to save. And sometimes you make this money and you said, oh, whether I like it or not, I want to save a little of it. And it's more about discipline, and it's more about developing a culture that look, or even in Yoruba they say I don't use all my 10 fingers to eat. So whatever I make, you give to Caesar what is Caesar's, and don't do it when the thing is so massive. It's like if I know that, oh, this 10 naira that I made, whether I like it or not, 20 naira,
5 naira.
2 naira, no, it's not that much. And like 2 naira belongs to government, then let me put 2 naira. And so as you are paying your tithes, you're paying your tax. So it's like just say I'm paying tithes. Let me put my sides together. Exactly. So at the end of the day, it's all about discipline. About, oh, this is my income, and I'm paying 10% to God, and I'm paying 10% or 20% to government. So that's the way you should.
My final question will be, they will be nice. They will be nice. They will be nice. Now, because they will be nice. So, how should the government? How would the government begin to encourage us Nigerians to start to give them what belongs to them? Because some people still don't believe in paying tax.
Yeah, I know, but whether they like it or not, if they are in the net, they will pay the tax because it's statutory. But on the side of the government, to be honest, it's like they're not doing enough.
Okay.
They're trying, but it is still not enough.
So it means that if I say me too, I'm trying. I'm trying to pay, but
no. You do yours first.
Okay.
And whatever it is that the government is doing, they're probably going to start improving on it. I'm not going to sit down here and advocate for government, but at the same time, I know that whether we like it or not, we have to pay these taxes. What they now do with it, it is us that will now hold them accountable for it. But that is if we have paid. You can't even hold somebody accountable for something you have not paid for now.
Okay.
So why are you complaining when you have not even paid it? So at the end of the
Encourage
day,
us.
yeah, we're
Encourage
encouraging us
us
because, like I said, paying your taxes actually gives you that power.
to be able to
So
ask
to be
questions.
able to ask questions. So it's like you even go to a forum now and you're asking a question. Somebody say, "Please produce your tax card," and say, "I don't have it."
Ha.
So what are you talking about? I mean,
Okay.
so
I refuse to say anything. Well,
and
thank
now
you.
there's so many things that you can't even do without your
Tax
tax. Yeah,
card.
yeah,
Oh,
exactly. So
it's okay.
why do you have to wait for them to knock on your door? Like I said, make it a culture of pay. You use it, look at it as I'm paying my tithes as well. So
Okay. For
that's
some of us that don't understand how to pay tax, if you want her to come and manage your tax, you can just send me WhatsApp message. I will direct you to her because I know it's a problem for it's an issue, not a problem, an issue for business owners who are trying to navigate the murky waters of having to satisfy the government, having to satisfy staff, having to satisfy a lot of people. Well, thank you so much for sharing your wealth of wisdom and encouraging us to pay tax.
yeah, I know what it is because the multiple taxation can be very overwhelming.
Mm,
And like I said, it is a work in progress.
progress.
So but we have to do our own part as taxpayers for us to be able to challenge the government to do
Mm,
their own part as well. And whether we like it or not, the challenges are there, and we'll continue to speak softly to power, the CITN, and which is an institution for that,
okay.
and see how we can create that balance. And
Okay.
I'm sure and hopefully our fiscal policy and monetary policies would um, would interweave in a way that it will be easy um, for a common man to enjoy the privileges that's supposed to come with tax payment
Okay.
and tax compliance.
Hmm.
So, yeah,
I
indirectly,
like
subtly,
the softness in which you're encouraging
exactly.
us to be able to pay. Till we come your way again. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Delmi, for having me.
Okay then. Till we come your way again next week Saturday, like we always see on Signals, dream again, create opportunities for people, and don't worry, we will be fine. Have a wonderful week and God bless.
What did I
Thank
do?
you. Yes, you did well. You
I don't know what I did. Though.
you did well.
At least I didn't have to go into the technical stuff.
No.